Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We are live broadcasting from Louisville, Kentucky today for our radio station at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We also welcome those tuning in to our Radio and Amazon Music. Glad you all could join us as well as we are traveling for March Madness and balling with books, which brings us to today's guest. Spring is here, which means warmer weather and fun with family and friends. Many of you guys, of course, are planning parties around March Madness as well. But here to thaw out for spring is drink expert Theo Rutherford for Deutsch Families Wine and Spirits. He's going to help you guys with some great ideas that you can actually be able to add for yourself and also share with others too. Theo, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, look, the pleasure's definitely all mine. It's a perfect time to be able to talk with you as things are hopefully warming up for most of our listening audience. Theo, what is a good way to celebrate the changing season?
Honestly, it's we're getting to the time where you want to gather with people and actually be around everybody. And ironically, a great way to actually thaw out for spring is by going to the coldest place in your house, which is going to be the freezer, and looking for fresh ingredients there, doing some sort of fun things with ice. And also, I'll talk a little bit about how to use the freezer so you make sure that when you're watching March Madness, you're not going to miss that buzzer beater or the game that you've got a little bit of bet on. So we'll have a little bit of fun with that too.
I love that. So then, you're the perfect guest then for this time of year. What is the top tip for spring entertaining, Theo?
So starting with the freezer, start with something classic like a classic highball using something like Redemption Rye. I don't need to talk to your listeners in Kentucky about bourbon or rye. They know it probably better than I do. But with Redemption Rye, it's going to bring a really nice spice to something easy like a highball. Now, to make it something that's a little cool and sort of fun, use something like citrus and freeze that into your ice. It actually looks great as a garnish, but it's also going to add a little bit of flavor to the drink as it starts to dilute.
Oh, I never would have thought of that. That is great. Do you have any other freezer inspiration, Theo, you can share with us?
Absolutely. So I don't know if you or your listeners have been on social media anytime recently, but a big trend that's going around is freezer door cocktails. And a great way to start those is something using Gray Whale gin. I know most people know what a Negroni is, but we'll put a little twist on that and do a white Negroni. White Negroni is going to be a little bit more refreshing, a little bit more bright. It's going to have a little bit more citrus to it. Plus, drinking with Gray Whale means you're actually adding to coastal conservation, which is a great cause, obviously. But with this white Negroni, we use Gray Whale, a little Lillet Blanc, and some white vermouth. And what that does is it brings some real freshness. You can throw that straight in the freezer, and that way you don't have to worry about it. People can go in the freezer, pour their own drink. You're already done.
Yeah, and that's what I love about segments like this, Theo, because you're able to give us tips we may not have thought about. I think a lot of times we try to overcomplicate things, but I love the fact that you're giving us things that are practical that we can try. So what are some of your favorite quick and easy drinks for spring and summer?
So I personally love a Boulevardier. Any new cocktail bar that I go to, it's actually the first drink I order to see if they actually know how to make a really good one. So we put a little bit of a twist on that using Bibb & Tucker 6-year bourbon, and we called it the winning hand. So it's basically a Boulevardier, but we added a little bit of hazelnut liqueur to that, and what that does is it actually brings out the nuttiness that is already inherent in that whiskey. And so, again, mix it ahead of time, put it in the freezer door, minimal effort, maximum flavor. It won't freeze on you. It's a great way to make sure that you're just sitting on the couch enjoying the games while others can serve themselves.
Yeah, I love that. So do you have any other suggestions, Theo, for our audience for something maybe with a twist?
Yeah, don't be scared, honestly. Anything that's sort of in there, you can freeze anything in ice. You can use sort of anything. The only thing I would say is, don't reach all the way in the back and find something that has, that freezer burn on there. If it won't taste good in your smoothie, it won't taste good in your cocktail either. But using something like jalapeno peppers and putting that in your ice and doing a margarita using Cantera Negra tequila. It can actually bring a little bit of heat to that sweetness that already is in the tequila, but it's sort of a fun one there. You can use herbs like basil or cilantro. You can kind of go nuts with it, but honestly, don't be afraid to try something new. Honestly, you throw something in there, it doesn't work, throw it down the drain, it's fine. Try something else.
Love that. I tell you, some great tips for us, whether we're talking about for March Madness events, even if our audience, their brackets may already seem busted, but also moving into the summer as well. Again, everyone, drink expert Theo Rutherford has been our guest for Deutsch Family Wine and Spirits. Theo, where can our audience go for more information and ideas?
For all the brands that I talked about and some more spring-inspired ideas, they can go to deutschfamily.com, and it will have all of the brands there for you.
Awesome. We'll make sure that we link that up for our audience. Theo, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate you joining us while we're on the road here, and looking forward to our next chat together.
Cyrus, thanks for having me. I appreciate it and look forward to talking soon.
All right, sounds good. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live here at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. And until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.